Hello, everyone, and welcome. Today, we're going to be talking about how to start your savings system. I was trying to do this live, but it's not working. So I'm gonna record it and then give you guys access to it. So let's dive into this. Hey, yep, and we have the baby here. So today we're going to be talking about creating your unique savings system. A couple of things we're going to be talking about is like, what is it? First of all, types of different savings that is in it, give you some strategies for increasing your savings, and then talking about my favorite part of it, which is the savings buckets and how that helps you manage the unexpected expenses. So let's dive into that. So should I save or invest? This is the first thing that everybody kind of talks about is like, well, should I be putting it in savings or should I be investing? There's a huge difference between these two. Both of them have a place in your life, but they play different roles, and you may not be ready for investing quite yet. So we already know that savings is, parking that money in the low risk safe banks for future needs. Investing is using that process of taking your money or capital and buying an asset that you think has a high probability that's going to generate money for you, right, over time. So this typically means like stocks, bonds, and real estate, things like that. Things I don't do, right? So that is one part of it that you can do with your money. The other part is saving money. And this is what I talk about in your financial foundation when we talk about creating your lemonade stand. And once you have your savings goals and you're able to meet those savings goals, then you can kind of move on from this. So I usually say save first, invest later, or minimally. And if you have stuff with your employer and things like that, but I will say this is a slightly different strategy if you're closer to retirement. You may want to talk to a financial advisor and see where this all sides. But let's talk about why we need a savings system, okay? By creating your savings system, you are eliminating the choices. You are making it so much easier to actually save. So you're eliminating those impulsive choices. Those are in the moments like, okay, should I put this in savings or shall I go get a pair of shoes if I need them, or if I feel like I need them in the moment? Or hey, you know what? They're having a sale, and I could really, I would love some new, Halloween decorations. I know Halloween's not coming up, but that's always in my head. I use some new Halloween decorations, but should I be saving? So the saving system allows you to avoid that thought process altogether, and not have to do that. So why do we need this? So it adds that purpose behind your saving money. This intentionality, which is so important, part of what I teach in my system, is adding that intentionality. It allows us to make better decisions. It also creates a process and allows us to increase that when needed. So when we have a process of how we put money in savings, then we are able to do it more often. Money will not always do this, but you will be there to prioritize. In the future, you can prioritize where your savings goes, but it creates that process so it's so much easier to do that. And finally, we create that system that we can adapt to fit our lifestyle. So this system will allow us to efficiently and quickly adapt to as things go. So adding and removing or changing if you need more or less in with each thing. So that's really the purpose behind the saving systems. And I know it can be a little overwhelming. Just going to touch on a few of these things. When I work with clients one-to-one, we really dive into this in the first phase of in my coaching. And, we dive into that financial foundation and really creating the system. But I want to give you guys some good tips, some good ways of going forward and starting this on your own. So let's dive into sure, we need a savings system, but what does that even look like, right? So here's Sally. You see her here. She's pretty. She has this pretty little pink dress. I love this little icon here. So this is Sally. She works hard all day, all week, like you do. Or if you're a stay-at-home mom, just like your spouse does, maybe to bring home money. Either way, but for the sake of this, we're gonna say Sally works hard all week long. Then the money hits the account on Friday, if it's Friday, but let's say for the sake of this, it's Friday and that's payday, right? So she gets that money. So we have money. Now you should already, have a budget. That's going to be the first step of your building your financial foundation, is really having that that budget already taken care of. Okay. So assuming that you have that, then you want to have your budget up and running. You're going to open your budget and you're going to distribute your money, right? You're going to pay your bills. You're going to get cash if you need some of that for the day-to-day stuff. You're going to pay off your debt. And you can see it's being distributed, right? Most people will save as a afterthought. Okay. So this happens with every paycheck, and most people save as an afterthought. Well, I will save money kind of like, oh, I'll save money if I have money at the end of the month. Whatever I have at the end of the month, I'll do that. But rarely, and tell me if I'm wrong, rarely do you actually have enough money to put into savings. The reason we do that is because all month long, we're prioritizing that money. And so if it doesn't have a savings, that if you don't have that intentionality saying, I'm putting $50 away for this, then you can't prioritize that savings. Then it's just ambiguous savings that you have, like, oh, it would be nice to someday save some money. You can't have that ambiguous, like, oh, someday. No, it needs to be very intentional. I'm saving $50 so that we can take a vacation next year. I'm saving $50 so that I can repair my car. It has to be very, very specific. So what do? We insert the savings throughout the month. Okay, so what does that look like? So line items on your budget, like savings buckets, which we'll get to in a minute. Using cash, putting extra cash away for buffers for your day-to-day. Not using credit cards as much, so that we have more money to increase. Sorry, the baby's right here. Okay, she's okay. Oh my goodness. Oh, I got your snack. Sorry. So we can have more money to increase that. That's a whole nother topic, but generally, when you're trying to get control of your money, credit cards are good. And this is not true for everyone. I have clients that use credit cards, but mostly it's better to, pocket rather than paying with a credit card, and so that we can kind of avoid that part of it when you're trying to get control of things. So that's not for everybody, but generally that's what we like to do. So this is kind of what that saving system looks like, kind of giving you the 30,000 foot view here. Now let's talk about strategy for how do you save more money. The single best way to begin savings, and this is what I tell clients to do, is pay yourself first. This technique has been proved time and time and again to influence people to help change their behavior. So that is really, you want to make sure that you're paying yourself, that you're putting that. I have clients that automatically have money, just when their money hits the account, they automatically have money go into savings, go into a specific savings account. It's auto drafted over there. Pay yourself first, guys. This is important. Another way that I have done it, and I actually do, and I've created like little games of my own, is try to make a game out of it. For like, okay, so let's say I want to save an extra $100 this month. How can I make an extra $100 this month? How can I save that? So, example would be, maybe instead of ordering, if you go out to dinner, maybe you order water instead of tea or coffee, or you're able to, instead of getting coffee in the morning, you bring your own, right? So we look at that and find little things, small little things, and they don't have to be big, but they add up. And think about this, okay? The reverse is true, right? If you spend little bits all throughout the month, you end up spending, you're like, where did all the money go? And then you look and it's like $5 here, $10 here, $5 here, and it just adds up. The reverse is true when it comes to savings. Doing those small little bits throughout the month will add up at the end. So reverse that and try to do that. And like I said, a big thing is to create those auto savings from there. There's apps that can help you save automatically, and things like that. But paying yourself first and really saying, okay, I'm going to do this, is super important. And one of the quickest ways that you can really do that is to look at your income and then take 1% that you bring home, just one little percent, every month, and putting that in savings. Start very, very small. And I will say I've not found one person that couldn't take 1%. just one little bit, 1% of whatever they bring home. And does it feel like a lot? No, but you're saving, you're starting that. And it's a habit of saying, okay, I'm putting money in savings. And then if when the first month you're able to do that, like, wow, that wasn't so bad. I was able to manage it, and adjust with it. Okay, now increase it to 2%. Increase it to 5%, whatever it is, whatever you're able to do, but slowly building that up so that you're able to add more money to savings as you go. Now, let's talk about the types of different savings, okay? So your saving system is made up of several different types of savings. The first one is the emergency fund. Now, normally people, they build up that emergency fund to help them through unexpected expenses or unexpected events, like unemployment, medical expenses, unforeseen living expenses, emergency home repair, potentially death in the family, things like that. So some of these will be taken over with insurance. So all these things that are happening, there's a lot there, right? So some of these things we want to take over with, making sure we have proper insurance in place. Again, not a thing I do, but something you should look into. Or savings buckets, which we're going to talk about in a minute. So this money that you have in your emergency fund is meant to be saved and not spent unless it's the absolute last resort. We should have other types of savings in place other than the emergency fund, which I'm guessing is a little bit different that here, hold on. Which is a little bit different than I think we've all been taught, just throw money in savings, throw it into emergency fund. And if you need it, then, you grab it. So how easily do you take money from your emergency fund? Probably for anything that comes up, any kind of car repair, any kind of thing unexpected. And we want to take that. We want to change that because then it becomes a little bit easier to save more money. Yeah, you got that? Okay, so let's look at the next type of savings is for a specific goal or purpose. Okay, so these things are like car, travel, weddings. These are not your normal everyday living expenses. So they are something you'd like to have. So this type of savings is designed to help you get them. Saving now for a future purchase. And really how you do that is just estimate, okay, I want to be able to take that large vacation in 2 years. That's 24 months. How much do I need to save every month to get to that point, right? And it takes that big purchase, that large purchase that are our wants and the fun stuff of the joy in life that we absolutely should have in our life, and we break it down to smaller pieces so that we can do it while we're trying to achieve other goals. Now, as far as on the priority list, these are going to be on the lower end unless you decide that this is a priority for you. If you have, let's say you've achieved some of the other goals that you have, and now you know what, it's a priority. Most people, these are going to be the lower on the priority because we want to make sure that we have money for all our bills and everything that we're doing. Then we're saving for our buckets and then emergency fund, and then this comes in. So but as you get more proficient in savings and as you're able to align, and this is what I work with when with my clients when we get into phase 2 of things, and I use my triple R method, which is really aligning everything with what your goals are, what your values are, so that you're spending money. When you spend money, it has a purpose. It is aligned with something in your life. It's something that's important to you, and so that you're not having these impulsive spending. And so this is definitely part of that. We want to save for the fun stuff, but we got to align everything as well. So that's why it's usually on the bottom. But as everything gets systemized and gets organized for you, then you'll be able to do this more. Let's talk about my favorite part. Okay, so we got the savings buckets, guys. I love savings buckets. When I discovered this in my life, I cannot tell you how freeing it was. And I think, it's called other things by other people, but I really like the idea of savings bucket. So this is, I think many times, us as moms, we get frustrated at these setbacks that are constantly happening. I'll give you an example of a month I had in February when we got COVID. That was frustrating. We were trying to do the no spend, if you remember, it was the no spend month. But you know what else happened in that month? My AC stopped working. Well, my HVAC, because we were using the heat, that stopped working. My dishwasher broke down. We had, what was it? We had a pool repair on our pool. The pump needed to be repaired. And then we had roof repairs that we had to make because there's areas of the roof that were missing. So we had all of that happen in 1 month. I can tell you, I did not stress at all about it. I stressed about the COVID part of it because that's not fun, but generally did not stress. Money was set aside and prepared for ahead of time. And so it was not stressful to say, oh, it was just an inconvenience. It was like, oh, another thing. Yeah, it's frustrating, sure, but not stressful. Not like, oh, well, how am I going to come up with this money? No, I didn't stress about it because I have my saving system in place. And now it does take time to create the system. There's many ways of setting it up. This is all the things that I usually work with my clients with, is to really be able to set this up because it's unique to you. So what makes sense to you may not make sense to somebody else. And what works for me may not work for you. So we really take the time to create that unique system for what works best for you. And so the reason why this is so just life-changing is because these unexpected expenses happen all the time. And I can tell you right now, for us, this is going to happen all for the next year or two. We're going to have unexpected things come up repeatedly because we just purchased a house that is a little bit older. And so we knew going into that was that. But we already had that savings system in place, so we're not stressed about it. Now, that's one of the things that we're going to talk about. There's different ways that we can set that up. You know, the framework for multiple savings avenues. Okay, that's basically what we're doing. So you're having a savings bucket for home repairs. You're having a savings bucket for car repairs. You're having a savings bucket for clothing. You're having a savings bucket for gifts. All of these things that come up on a monthly basis that you're going to save for. So how do you do that, right? So when I think, unfortunately, I don't have enough time to go into all the details here, but let me give you a quick overview. So I'll give you an example. So for car repairs, how do you create the savings bucket for the car repairs and then insert it into your oh, sorry, skipped ahead. Sorry. How do you do it? So car repairs. Okay. So you look down, you sit down and you write down what car maintenance things are you going to need this year? Probably like 3 or 4 oil changes, maybe tires, brakes, you know, tune-ups. What are you going to need? Okay. You write those down. Then you say, okay, what condition's my car in? Am I going to need, is there going to be do I think I'm going to get a regular repair bill from it? If you have a newer car, probably not. Or if you're under warranty, probably not. So you're good with just the maintenance. But if you have an older car that you own outright, maybe, then you know you're going to have more things that you're going to have to pay for. So you want to incorporate that. So adding, you know, an extra 300, 500, whatever you think is going to be, whatever you feel comfortable with in there, and then saying, okay, so you add it up. And let's say it's $1,000, okay? And so you have 10 months left in the year, so that's $100 a month. So what? Leave the cat alone. She wants to play with the cat. So you have $1,000 that you're going to need over the next year. 10 months left in the year, so that's $100 a month. So you go into your budget and you put a line item for $100 car repair, and then every single month you're putting $100 in there. Are you going to need to do car maintenance every month? Are you going to need to do repairs every month? Probably not. But as it builds up, oh, I need an oil change. Great. Use that. It doesn't touch your main budget. You don't have to worry about those unexpected things. Oh, my car broke down and I have to get the alternator fixed. Okay, that's $300, $400. I've been saving up for 6 months. It's in there. Let's say you've only been saving up for a month or two and you only have a couple $100. That's still a way better situation than if you had not been able to save at all. Or if you had to pull from your emergency fund. And then now you have to rebuild that emergency fund. The good thing about the car repair and the savings bucket is you don't have to rebuild them because you have set these goals ahead of time. So you're saying, I know for this year, I'm estimating I need this much money. The other thing people ask me is, well, how do you do that, Erica, if I don't have enough money for everything? That's where the prioritization, that's where it comes with the coaching, is we prioritize what are the most important ones. Eventually you'll have all of them. Like I said, it takes time to create a full system. What are the most important things for you? What are the things that you're absolutely going to have happen? That you can kind of predict. You can't predict everything, but you can predict quite a bit, right? For me, home repairs, huge number. So I'm throwing everything extra into home repairs. That's just why I know, that's why I'm prioritizing. I know that that's coming. What is it for you? What do you know is going to happen? So as you do that and say, okay, well, I know I'm going to need medical expenses this year. When we had our daughter, I knew that was going to be a priority. So that savings bucket got filled first. And so most of the money got put in there. So you can do it small amounts into each savings bucket, or you can focus on just one. So that's what's really important there, is that you have to prioritize which savings bucket is most important. And a lot of this is very, it's overwhelming for a little, 20-minute training. Totally get that. I'm trying to give you the big picture here. This is why I work with clients. This is why I do all this, because sometimes it is overwhelming to try to do on your own, and to try to figure all that stuff out. So, but this is part of it. This is what we build when we build that foundation, is we get that going for you. Now, there's different ways that and to give you kind of some tips on how you want to set it up. Capital One is great because you can create as many accounts and there's no fees, and it works really well. Another one that I've been using is having clients use is Ally Bank, because they actually have something called the savings bucket. I was so surprised they have it. So they actually have a savings bucket system in there so that you can put all the money in one account and then you can allocate it online. Super, super awesome. So there's multiple ways of doing that. Now, you can use your unexpected expenses to help you build your system right now. Okay. So what you can do is, as look in the past month and say, okay, start tracking your unexpected expenses. So if you have car repair come up, okay, maybe it's time to start a car repair account. If you had gifts that you know that birthdays are coming down the line, okay, let's add all those up and add that to the budget. So using your unexpected expenses to help you prioritize and figure out which one to do it. So you can set these goals ahead of time. Another thing that, and if we're right around in tax season, a lot of people get, tax refund. Whenever you get large sums of money, I know we all kind of want, we have all these things we want to spend. I will tell you that is the best time to really utilize this strategy, because you can take the money. Oh, hi, thank you. You can take the money, the large sum of money that you come in, a couple thousand. I've seen other people get more, but take that and say, okay, what savings buckets can I fill? I know I'm going to have medical expenses. For example, like when I had my daughter, I knew that I was going to have a deductible to meet with my C-section. So that was a priority. So I would fill that savings bucket. So whenever we get large sum of money, we fill up all our savings buckets to whatever our goals are for the year. Great part about this is that once if you have it in your budget where you're saving 100 for this, 20 for this, 30 for this, and you save those, you've now created room in your budget. So you have all that extra money that now you can save for the fun stuff if you want, or you can pay towards debt, or you can do all the other things that you want to do, right? So I hope this is helpful to you. And I'm going to talk for a moment. Why is this important to the big picture? Okay. Why do we want the saving system? Now, when I talk about my unique, my intentional spending method that I teach, we always start with a financial foundation. Okay. That's phase one of everything. And I've talked about the financial foundation. It's your lemonade stand. It allows you to take what life throws at you, those lemons that they throw, and manage it without stress. So with my clients, usually we move on to phase two, where I start to adapt. We adapt your money system and your to your lifestyle, your saving system to your lifestyle. We help you learn how to prioritize and really be able to stick to a system that makes sense in your life. So we tie in your goals and your values, and we help you stay even more motivated to increase your savings so you can reach your goal. Thank you. Yeah, thank you. Oh, you want to come up? Okay. Yeah. So that is so that's why we want to, and as far as the big picture, this is your saving system. This is your financial foundation. We want to decrease your stress. We do not want you stressing about these things. And we want you to feel like you are secure and that you have you've been able to save for whatever life throws at you, right? And that is really the goal here. Now, I want you to let me know if you have any questions. You're free to message me directly on Messenger, or you can send me an email. My email address is erica@odysseyfinancialcoaching.com. And if you have any email or any questions, or you can I'll post this up down below, and you can actually, if you're ready to really start working, I've talked a little bit about what I do with my clients. If you're ready to kind of see what that is or how I can help you, go ahead and click the link and set up an assessment, and we can get to know each other. And I can talk to you a little bit more about your unique situation and how building this foundation can really change your life. Okay. Now yeah, I know. Yeah, it's her nap time. So like I said, any questions, reach out to me. I hope you guys have a great rest of your day, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.